So I'm gonna sum it up. I got a little jealous. She interacted with somebody who I shouldn't feel jealous about. She didn't do anything wrong. This person didn't do anything wrong. I'm dealing with a situation where I need to trust. And I need to trust more, right? I need to be able to trust the person that I'm with right now because this is a person I'm in a relationship with. So this means that we need to have a level of communication and trust between each other. And we do have that. With that being said, a lot of my past insecurities are gonna come out sometimes. And it has nothing to do with her, but it's got everything to do with myself. This is where constant self-work comes in to play, right? For example, I get upset. I get jealous that she may find somebody else attractive. Let's just say she pointed out somebody is, this person is really tall, right? Sometimes when my significant other might say, oh, this person is really tall, or this person is really attractive. Now, instead of saying, oh, well, maybe that's just a thing, I always say, okay, well, that means that I'm not good enough. But what does that have to do with me not being good enough as a human being, me not being good enough for myself as a person, or me not being good enough for her? If my significant other points out that somebody is taller than me and I get upset about that, the real question that I need to be asking, and the real question you need to be asking if a similar situation comes up is, I'm getting upset about this. Okay, what does this say about myself? When that actually happens, what it said about myself was I have consistent insecurity with my height because I'm kind of short for a guy. I'm like 5'4", 5'5", and a lot of guys, especially minorities, taller, and I'm not. But just because I might not be taller than somebody, just because I'm not, I don't look the same, or just because I don't have the same traits or same abilities as somebody, just because you don't have the same abilities as somebody, and just because you don't have the same, just because you're not like anybody else, doesn't mean that you're not good enough. That actually is the reason that you're good enough, because you aren't like other people. And you have something unique to you that nobody else is going to be able to provide. And not only do I have to constantly remind myself this, but I constantly have to remember that staying true to myself, authenticity, and not holding back who I want to be is the key to me being happy and the key to everybody's actual happiness. When you hold back who you are and you hold back what's inside of you, it irks. It irks, and it's gonna stay there until you let it out. With that being said, what people think of you and what people think of me has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with you, and everything to do with themselves. And yesterday I had an interaction with a coworker, and I get cold pretty easily. I love my scarves, right? I love my scarves. Not only is it like a style statement to me, but it makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel whole. So I had a scarf on. This person always finds the need to point out the negative in me. And usually I don't take it in, but yesterday I took it in. I think I spoke about this before, but yesterday I took it in. They said, I don't like that. Like, I don't like it. How are you wearing that? Like, if I was wearing that, I'd be so damn hot. And I started to get hot, and I started to warm up. I started to take in their energy. I started to take in what they were thinking of me. But really, how I started to think about it earlier is, what does this say about myself? And what does this say about this other person? Just because that this person has an opinion, not only does it mean that I have to take it in on my own, but just because this person has an opinion, what does that say about myself if I'm taking it in as my own? What does it say about myself if I'm allowing it to get in? People are going to have their opinions about you. People are going to say things about you. And that's just life. And we can't control that. What you can control is how you respond to it. And what I realized was that me, in the moment, I didn't respond to it very well. I kind of just stuck up and I froze. Instead of just brushing it off and realizing that it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Nothing really matters. What people think of you doesn't matter. What people used to think of you in the classroom doesn't matter. We're in middle school, and when we're in middle school, we think everything in there is our whole world. Oh, we're not popular. We don't hang out with the popular kids. We don't play football. We don't play basketball. So what does that mean? That means we're not good enough, and that means that every single thing is canceled out about us that makes us unique. Everything is bad. We're awful people. That's what we do, and that's what we did at one point in time. We do that in school. We say, all these people like me. My entire world is destroyed. I don't have a life. We say, oh, I don't have a job. I don't have a life. I don't have anything to do with myself. We are giving ourselves these labels, and we're holding on to things that we don't need to be holding on to. Because at the end of the day, what's going through my head right now is, what do people think? And it doesn't really matter, because the people who know you the least have the most to say about you.